Hello everyone. Hello family. It's your good old Dr. Sene, always ready to explore the mysteries of the human body with a little dose of good humor. Today, watch out friends, we're going to tackle a topic that's, how to say, a bit like a plot twist in a movie you think you understand. IVF, in vitro fertilization.
In vitro. For many, it's a real challenge. The appointments,
The injections, the emotional roller coaster, in short, the full experience. We often say, well, if it doesn't work, or if it works, it means the natural way is over, finished. That's it. We fold the goals of spontaneous conception. We put the playful quilt in the closet, and you never know, but we don't count on it too much. And what if I told you that Mother Nature, she's quite the trickster and hasn't necessarily had her last word? What if I told you that the scenario isn't always what we think? Hold on to your seats because today we're going to talk about natural pregnancy after IVF. Yes, you heard right. We are going to break this down together, debunk a few misconceptions, and who knows, maybe give wild hope to some or others. An excellent reason to check the expiration date of their contraceptive. Here we go, my friends. So, get your notepads ready because the numbers are quite staggering. Contrary to what one might think, getting pregnant naturally after going through IVF is not like winning the lottery. Far from it. From there, the very serious studies conducted on thousands of women show us that about 20%, yes, 1 in 5 women who had their baby thanks to IVF or ICSI then conceived naturally. And get this, it also applies to those for whom IVF had not resulted in a birth. A study showed that 17% of them had a natural pregnancy within 5 years. 5, right? Most of these surprise babies arrive within 3 years after the birth of the live baby or the end of treatment. It's a bit like you've moved with all your belongings with a huge truck, and once settled in, you realize you forgot a box. The most important thing is him with the baby. No, I'm joking, but that's the idea. And nature sometimes has more tricks up its sleeve. So it's not rare at all, as researchers say. All right. You may be thinking, Dr. Sene, these numbers are all well and good, but how do you explain this phenomenon? Is the stork working overtime off the books? Not quite. Even though I like the image, several factors come into. Track first the woman's age at the time of IVF, and then it's a bit like the conductor of fertility. Younger women, let's say under 35 or 36, naturally have better chances for their spontaneous fertility to make a comeback. Logical, the ovarian reserve and the quality of the oocytes are generally better. After 38, 40 years, it gets a bit tougher, but it's not mission impossible. No? Attention. Secondly, the initial cause of infertility. That is crucial. If the couple faced unexplained infertility, this kind of catch-all diagnosis, which means we looked at everything, we don't see anything obvious, but it doesn't work, or to lighter issues like mild endometriosis or minor ovulation disorders, the chances of natural conception post-IVF are much better. Why? Because these couples might have been more subfertile. Reduced fertility, absolutely infertile case. Sterile. The natural potential was there, a bit dormant. On the other hand, if we talk about the fallopian tube, completely blocked or severe male infertility, which required an ISI, for example, azoospermia, there the chances of a natural miracle are much slimmer or even none if the problem persists. Thirdly, the duration of infertility before in vitro fertilization. If you have struggled for 10 years before IVF, it's often a sign of a tougher issue than if you had tried for only 2 or 3 years. A shorter duration suggests a potentially lighter problem or just a need for more time to start. And then there are fascinating hypotheses. A certain researcher thinks that the pregnancy itself or even the hormonal treatment of IVF could cause a kind of hormonal reset, beneficial, a bit like a big spring cleaning in your system. Reproductive aspect. Others mention the psychological impact once the pressure of you absolutely must have a child fall, especially if there has already been a baby girl, makes the body relax. Relaxes, the stress decreases, and presto, the machine restarts more easily. We can never say enough how stress can play tricks on us. Let's not forget the lifestyle either. If during the IVF journey you adopted a healthier diet, stopped smoking, reduce alcohol, manage your stress, and maintain these good habits, it's all beneficial for your fertility in general, including naturally. With all this information, you're thinking, okay, Dr. Sene, it's interesting, but practically, what does it change for me? Excellent question. For those who secretly dream of a second child or third or more, after the first challenging journey with IVF, this information can give you a glimmer of hope. Nature can sometimes give you this gift. Discuss with your doctor the probabilities specific to your case, it is a but in capital letters, underlined, and in neon for those who do not want another pregnancy right away or not at all. Friends, the key word is contraception. I repeat, even if you struggled for years to conceive, even if you were told that your natural chances were as thin as cigarette paper, the risk of spontaneous pregnancy after in vitro fertilization is real. 1 in 5 women, remember? It's not an urban legend to sell pills. A surprise pregnancy when you're not physically or emotionally prepared can be quite an upheaval. So protect yourself or seriously discuss the contraceptive option with her doctor. Surprises are nice for birthdays, less so for pregnancy tests. Unexpected. In any case, dialogue with your medical team is crucial. Every couple, every woman has a unique story. Your doctor can help provide clarity based on your age, the cause of your initial infertility, and your general health condition. And let's not forget the psychological aspect of all this. Just imagine the scenario. You have struggled, cried, and hoped for ages. You might even have been labeled as infertile. And then, just when you weren't expecting it at all, a positive pregnancy test out of nowhere. It's a cocktail of emotions, explosives, an immense joy, of course, but also sometimes shock, disbelief, even anxiety. Is it true? Will it last? Why now and not before? It's an emotional whirlwind, and that's perfectly normal. You shouldn't hesitate to seek support if needed. Here you go, my dear partners in white coats or not. The key takeaway is that this session and life are full of surprises. Natural pregnancy, after IVF is not a fairy tale. It is a reality for a significant number of couples, about 1 in 5, which is not insignificant. While you are hoping for a little natural surprise, or whether you simply wish to avoid a new baby adventure for the moment, the key information is be informed, be aware. Fertility is not always a switch on, off. It's often a slider, a spectrum that can evolve. We're reaching the end. Don't hesitate to let yourself go in the comments. That's what they're for, to share, get informed, support each other, and why not have a good laugh together. If this video shook things up for you a bit, in a good way, a little thumbs up is always appreciated by Uncle Sinai. Subscribe so you don't miss the next medical humoristic explorations. And above all, take care of yourself, your heart, and your spirit. See you soon for new adventures.
Ciao, ciao.